My name is Jimmy Miller, and I'm a skateboarder from Victoria, BC. My plight in skateboarding has been interwoven with advocacy, being a snarky, smarmy, sarcastic joker.
I had underwear problems, so I took them off.
But at the same time, someone who has continued to skateboard from the very start, for me in 1987, to present day. And I gladly put on the hats that I've put on because it's all in pursuit of the activity that I've loved, I love, and continue to love. Skateboarding has given me so much that I feel it's like my obligation to give back, or I just want to give back because I enjoy it so much. And my kids skateboard, and so many people within the community, I've seen them come up, maybe leave it, but then come back to it. Skateboarding has given my community so much, and I love seeing the different flavors and aspects and generations come through.
Oh, Jim, are you okay, bud?
Yeah.
Downtown, center of town, center of my universe at the time, and that was Douglas and View. And that got to be known as Turb, or long form Turbo Hang, as dubbed by well-loved, rest in peace, local artist Hans Fear. And it was this physical and cultural intersection of so many different demographics that weren't necessarily defined yet. So many different demographics all hanging out on one street corner, or even separated, and that would be rockers, that would be rappers, that would be skaters, that would be bike couriers, that would be troublemakers, and it was all teenager and chaos and perfect. There's many people that look back at that era fondly, and for my age at the time was 12, 13. I was in the most opportune moment to sponge all that culture up, and maybe if I was lucky, contribute to it a little bit.
Yo, Johnny Linguini Luciano, that fucking Joe Pesci, that bastard owes me $5. I want my fucking money. I go to New York, I'm going to LA. I don't
Look at this shit.
Unbelievable, ladies and gentlemen. That's the kind of shit we like.
You got beer, brother.
The punk rock shows in Victoria and the early rap shows in Victoria, or the metal shows, were super duper popular. There was always an all ages one to go to as well, and there was so many great bands of that era. I would be wearing very large for my size clothes. So people took to me, I think, in a cute stray puppy kind of way and looked out for me. I was really looked after by Jamer, so that's James Lindsay. That would be Judah Oakes. I mentioned Hans Fear. Jake Warren. Alex Morrison. Andrew Morrison.
Owen's got him in his pocket.
Oh shit. Here you go. It's gonna happen. Third session, yo. We're gonna make it.
It smells like pee, dude. It smells like pee.
Motherfuckers!
Yes! Do it! Teacher. I don't understand.
Pretty hot.
What was the assignment again?
It's coming out.
We were the chaotic element that certainly many Victorians didn't want. And that's what led to the creation of the Red Zone downtown Victoria. As we all got fired up off of each other's energy and watching videos, and with skateboarding evolving so quickly, we took the adventure to the streets. And that was an area where kids could get their skateboards taken away, and you would get a ticket, and there was the confiscation fee or the holding fee for the skateboard. And those are precious times that, you know what, like I look back and it kind of has a low-key criminal element, but more just adventure to it, and that is the age that I was. What ultimately it boiled down to is a lack of facilitation for youth, and Victoria has always had a bit of a sleepy town aspect to it. But now we take care of our kids. Now we understand that recreation is essential, and there are many different types of recreation. Back then, it was a bit more sport specific, so skateboarding downtown was certainly looked at negatively. By my estimation, the hanging out at Douglas and View was predominantly between 1985 and 1991. And in that 6-year period, skateboarding was in a state of evolution in Victoria, but also around the world. It was evolving very, very quickly. Skateboarders created noise, created chaos. There was a confusion to it. There was a loudness to it. There was a screw you to it. That ethos still runs through skateboarding today, but obviously it's more digestible because parents have become skateboarders themselves. We have grandparents that are skateboarders now. Sadly, there was an incident with a young boy who got hit by a car in his own neighborhood, and he passed away, and his name is Nathan Gillespie. And it was in part Nathan's passing that shed a new light on the need of a skateboard park. A nonprofit was created called the VSA. Through the hard work of Jake Warren and Cherry Brownhill, the Victoria Street Surf Association was born. A skate park makes sense. It's a safer place to recreate.
It's hoped this park will encourage the enthusiasts to stay off the streets when they're on their boards.
And while we certainly got up to some trouble there and had our fun and hijinks at the skate park, it was a centralized location that brought us out of the downtown core. We achieved that 1991, 1992 in the creation of the Nathan Gillespie skate park, which is the Vic West skate park, which was the original horseshoe. There were so many great years and notable tricks done at Vic West, that smaller version of Vic West at that time.
The tennis courts have never been used. They're actually a half basketball court now without a key.
Tennis players fighting? That's like figure skaters fighting or something, man.
Seeing the attached tennis courts and their lack of use led to me and a few others reapproaching City Council after the Victoria Street Surf Association dissolved. And that came to fruition ultimately in the year 2001, using provincial BC 2000 grants as well as other funding sources to expand significantly.
Hey, where's the concrete when you need it, eh?
And that's the current day Vic West skate park footprint you see. It's a much larger space.
That was sick, dude.
Further on, upgrades were made to the Vic West horseshoe and a new bowl was created. One of the great things about any skate park, but specifically the original Vic West skate park, is that it's a melting pot for so many different types of skateboarding and personalities and passions. Whether it was a buddy who was playing acoustic guitar up in the grass in between sessions, or people pursuing filming skateboarding or, you know, documenting skateboarding. People have been documenting skateboarding since it came out, but we're talking high 8 cameras. We're talking about a less edited version of skateboarding. And one of the fast friends that I made just by me saying, hey, film this trick, would be my pal Dan Lupton. And sadly, I don't get to see him as often as I'd like these days, but I owe a lot of my skateboarding and my success in skateboarding to Dan Lupton, and so many Victorian skateboarders do. He was there sticking a camera close to our feet doing tricks, but also he was there sticking the camera in our face, catching all the chaos in the in-between moments.
Camera feet that does not bend like Dracula without his fangs, like the boogie to the boogie without the boogie bang, like collard greens that don't taste good, like a tree that's not made out of wood.
And because of that, I got featured in many of Dan's videos, and that was then what I could take a VHS tape, hastily wrapped and sent down to skateboard companies in California or over to the mainland, which Vancouver is and continues to be kind of the skateboard hub as far as shipping and receiving for Canadian skateboarding.
In places where you want to ride your skateboard and have a smooth landing, it's not that smooth.
The J, the I, the M, the M, the Y, the J, the I, the M is Jimmy. It's
Jimmy. From the birth of the original Vic West skate park in 1992 that's when I was rolling with the momentum of the Victoria Street Surf Association, the politicized music that was in my ears, whether it was, you know, punk rock screaming at, you know, the frustrations of their life, or even as I found my flavor going towards, no pun intended, Public Enemy and other groups that definitely let you know what they were thinking. And that's in part one of the reasons, or one of the ways I found my voice, is through music, through skateboarding, and continued advocacy. And that led me to me lending my hand to I Spy. And that was I Support Saanich Parks for Youth. And working with some community moms, one of such being Lynn Maple, I helped get the skate park built at, well, we know it as Gordo lovingly, but it's at the Lambert Park Rec Center, and that was built in 1997.
My name is Jim Miller. I'm 22. I live in Victoria, British Columbia, Canada, which is a short little ferry ride from Vancouver. And this is our skate park, and I'm going to have some fun.
Jen, we entered her in the contest.
It gave us our first skate park handrail in the Victoria area. The expansion of the Vic West skate park into the larger area in 2001, I consider the bigger step into me being a skate park advocate, or more appropriately, skateboard advocate. I built the VW contest series. We had a best trick contest at that first year, and then we kept going for many, many years. We did 16 VW skateboard contests, and it's definitely a place or an event held close to my heart. We kept it going. Even when I lived in Vancouver for about a decade, I would still, help organize from a distance and hop the ferry and come back and MC and curate. The VW contest series kept going when I lived in Africa for a year. Like, it was a strong entity. People from North Island or people from the mainland coming to compete because it was an excuse to see your friends and maybe win a couple bucks and get some free prizes out of the deal. But it's a celebration of skateboarding, and I look back to the VW years as something to be very proud of. In 2015, the skate park at Belmont School was destroyed. It was a sad moment for the Western communities. I dedicated my time and volunteered with an organization called the Westshore Coalition, where I became president and worked hand in hand with Bobby Neal and many other awesome members. We finally, after 7 years, got the Thrifty skate park built, and that's at the Westshore Parks and Recreation property.
Speaking of skateboarding,
skateboarding, those in the West Shore can now roll onto some new ramps. The Thrifty Food skate park at the Wandapika Rec Center officially opened today, with hundreds coming out to try it out. This is more than a $1.2 million project and 7 years in the making, aiming to make a world-class facility accessible to those on the West Shore.
Everybody's stoked on it. It fills a void that was left when the Belmont Park was destroyed some 7+ years ago. So we're happy to facilitate such a deserving community.
He says it's important to have more facilities like these to support and attract more people to the sport.
The unique situation with the skate park and the West Shore, the Thrifty Skate Park, is that West Shore Parks and Recreation is funded by all 5 municipalities: Langford, Colwood, the Highlands, Metchosin, and View Royal. So unlike the political advocacy that I had in previous skate park iterations where I'd speak to one city council, the Westshore Coalition's work was now multiplied by 5. Each council had its own temperature to where they held skateboarding and whether they agreed with it or not. The view of West Shore Parks and Recreation, where they want it to be an all-wheel skate park as opposed to a skateboard-specific skate park. And now that's a political topic to get into there, is that why do skate parks need to have accessibility for all wheels? I can see it both ways. I can see it as a parent that wants somewhere to go to for any of their children and what their disciplines are, and it's a safe space to roll. But I can also see it as a frustration from skateboarders that fight so hard for a space that they deserve, and then it gets co-opted by other activities. If you have an ice rink and it's figure skating that's scheduled, and then people come in and have a competitive hockey game in the middle of it. It's not that these areas aren't deserving unto themselves, it's that can these different disciplines or activities cooperate and collaborate with one another? And I do see skate parks as a success story in that way, but it doesn't mean that it's a perfect machine. And I think that's what's led to the birth of the DIY style of skate parks, where people make it an exclusive area for skateboarding only, or build a ramp in their backyard. Whether it's the urge to wax a chalky curb, or it's me swallowing the butterflies in my stomach and going to present in front of a city council, or it's somebody bondoing a crack at the run-up of a handrail, or adjusting the pitch of a barrier and adding a bit of concrete to the bottom. There are many DIY aspects of skateboarding, and it's all meant to better our activity. I think the true virtue of DIY is that it ranges from complicated, hidden skate park style obstacles that are a result of the frustration of the all wheels conundrum of a skate park, or it's somebody learning to use their dad's tools and build a janky half pipe in their backyard. And I, being one of the few of my era or time frame as a skate park advocate, consider using your voice an element of DIY. Through a community survey and outreach and advocacy, skateboarding scored very highly for the Quadra Village area, and that's what led to the creation of the Topaz Skate Park. I consider myself lucky that the time I came into skateboarding was hot in the boom of the 80s, where I got to walk into a skate shop, and for me it was Spine Grind on Discovery Street, and the colors were day glow and popping and very pink, very green, very vivid, skulls and flames, intimidating things for a 12 or 13-year-old. Not like I was scared, but it appeared dangerous and I wanted more of it. I was just like, oh, what's that one? Oh, okay, cool, that looks neat. Or every single board had a sticker that matched it, and then I started collecting the stickers, and I was there for, you know, the Mike Vallely Barnyard board, and I got to collect all the little duck stickers, and that was when we got the double kick, the kick nose and the kick tail in more of a twin way. And I was there when skateboarding went from a singular stance pursuit to skating the opposite stance. And, you know, like, I didn't take to it as well as others, but the idea that this thing that I thought was my escapism, my rebellion, my sense of adventure became a more versatile tool. I was completely hooked at that point. From that first glimpse of boards on the wall at Spine Grind to the evolving fashion that we all wore, or the culture that was undeniable, the artistic aspect of skateboarding is intrinsic to its development, and there have been so many great artists that have graced the bottom of boards. The permanence but the disposable nature of skateboard art is one of the reasons why it remains appealing to this day. I'm certainly not the most technically gifted skateboarder, but I skateboard with a smile on my face and continue to do so, and I think that's one of the greatest gifts that I've gotten from skateboarding, is that it's been this great ride that has maintained for so many years.